We're back again. It's a new stream. It's a new shirt. We're going to talk about preview. West Brom against Arsenal, League Cup. Can we still be in 3 trophies come September? What's going on, people? We're back again. I only saw you lot a couple of minutes ago. Welcome back. It's a new stream. It's the preview show. We got with us Jords. Not going to ask how you're doing. We all know you're doing good. Marv, you calm down a bit?
Yeah, I got my water now, so I'm good.
And we're joined by GunnerKing as well. What's going on, brother? You good?
Yeah, well, I haven't calmed down, I tell you.
Yeah, the thing is with you put yourself out there because you're on a mad one every day of the week, bantering people and creating videos and doing all the madness. So people must be gunning for you when Arsenal get beat, innit?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what we can do.
Put a massive target.
Yeah, good luck to you, boy. I leave you too. I don't even get involved. You tag me things. I'm not even responding. I thought I'm not gonna put myself out there. No one's coming back for me on a Sunday evening. I ain't got the tolerance. I'm lashing out. So leave me alone, boy. But yeah, fair play to you. So as you said, we're going into Wednesday's game. Got West Brom away from home. Thoughts? Nervous? Easy job? Gunner, you can go first. Even you haven't spoke yet. What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm not really nervous. I know it probably should be, given how we're performing at the moment. But I think this brings like a welcome distraction from what's going on in the league at the moment. You know, I think, look, we should have beaten Brentford. We didn't. Chelsea was never a game we expected to get points from. So that's just spiraling us into a bit of a downward or glass half empty kind of way of looking at it. I think, like, no disrespect to West Brom, you know, we beat them on the last game of the season, was it? Or second to last, one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and you know, so we've brought in other players since, so I'd expect us to have the strength to beat them, and I think it'll be a chance to breathe some confidence before the City game, and also give some players that have been knocking on the door a chance to stake their claim into the team. So I'm actually quite excited for it. I mean, will we see Ramsdale make a debut? You know, that could be interesting. I think if this would be the right sort of game to put him in for, Odegaard maybe. And yeah, I'm more looking forward to that side of it.
Yeah, I agree with you to a certain degree. I do agree with a few other players coming in just to prove that actually they can do better than what we've been playing so far. One thing I will say, you know, you touched on, we beat West Brom a few weeks before the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Confidence is a funny thing, isn't it? And they started off the season pretty well. So played 4, won 3, drawn 1, unbeaten so far, whereas we've lost 2 on the bounce. So the confidence is probably with them more than us. Marv, does that kind of worry you a bit going into this game?
Nah, because it's no disrespect to West Brom. It's West Brom. So if we're worried about playing West Brom, and regardless, it can be top of the championship, it's a different league to what we're in. So I think I also have to go into it with an arrogance of, if we perform, then we win. It's that simple. If we lose that game, it's down to us. There's nothing else. It's down to the players. It's down to the manager. It's not like playing Chelsea or City. We need a bit of luck because they are better than us, you know, player for player. We lose to West Brom, it's down to us. So we must go into that game with the arrogance that we used to have in the Premier League. We had the invincible team. We're going to win this game. If we lose to West Brom, then there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jords, if we lose that game, what happens?
The game's make or break, really, I think, my opinion. I genuinely think the game's make or break. The game sums up the season. Like, I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket, but the game does sum up the season. You know we're not winning the Premier League. Yeah. We're not in no other competition, obviously FA Cup, but do we have the strength to win that? I don't know. So for me, the game is make or break. Like, to exit a cup so early, this game, I'm gonna lie, the players are gonna be very, very nervous. Very, very nervous. Yeah. And
I haven't seen in a long time Arsenal enter the cup in the second round. Like, it's been again over 20 something years before we entered in the second round. So actually to see us in this draw feels crazy. And for me, losing doesn't bear thinking about. Do you know what I mean? They can't lose this game. Like, regardless of what it is, you can't afford to lose this at this moment in time with all the pressure that's been on you. I think the Brentford game, you have to go win. You can almost accept you might lose to Chelsea, you might lose to Man City, but the Brentford game's kind of killed Arteta because actually now he's back against the wall because you're looking at 3 games with 0 points. I'm in the league. So I know what Chris is saying. It's a welcome distraction because you're not playing a league game, but actually this can heap a lot more pressure on him if he gets beat. Because again, it's a game you're expected to win. You can lose to Leicester and you think, oh, they're a good team. They're in about where we are. So actually it's 50-50, but West Brom got to be winning. So for me, Marv, we're going to go to you first. We're going to bring your team up. And then you can obviously talk us through your lineup and what you expect from this team.
Yeah.
So you've got first thing I see. Sorry, first thing first is Leno in goal still.
Yeah. I'll start with Leno. I was speaking to Jords off air, and listen, Ramsdale is obviously rated as a goalkeeper. We pay big money for him, but for me, Leno's going to carry on playing in the league. So we need that confidence built up. So I'm not chopping and changing the goalkeepers. Listen, when you're winning games of football, then chopping and changing your goalkeeper is absolutely fine. Oh, you have a rest today. But for me, Leno's leaking goals. So his confidence is probably not very high. So a clean sheet, if we can get a clean sheet for him, that's going to be, that'd be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant for his confidence. Talk about confidence going forward. So Leno was always staying in goal for me, although, obviously Ramsdale's been brought in and he might play. Then I had a back three of Tierney was left-sided centre-half. Ben White was in the middle and Holding on the right. And the reason I've gone to a back three and put Ben White in the middle is because we paid 50 million for a man, as I said in the last show, who played centre of the three or an outside of the three for Brighton, either or, paid 50 million for him. We scouted him playing in that position. So why are we playing him now in the two? It doesn't make any sense. I said to Jordan, I'll give him an example. It's like signing a winger and you play wing backs. Why are you going to go and sign Messi, for example, when he's playing right wing and cutting aside, saying, actually, mate, you're going to play right wing back for us. We don't play wingers here. So it doesn't make any sense to me. So I've gone with that. I think Tierney does it for Scotland, left side of the three. So he's absolutely fine with that. That works for me. I've got Saka, left wing back. I've got Maitland-Niles, right wing back. And I think that gives a really good balance in that Saka can be a lot more aggressive with his positioning. And if we need to slide into a back four when we're defending at times because Saka's caught high, then you've got the natural of Tierney going across, White going across, Holding going across, and Maitland-Niles sliding into his normal right back position. 2 centre midfielders, I've gone for 2 workhorses. I'm fed up with us trying to play from the back because we're not good enough to do it. So I've gone with 2 players that I know are going to cover an awful lot of ground. Their job is simply to win the ball back and give it to the closest Arsenal player to them. I don't want to spray in the ball 30, 40, 50 yards, trying to find through balls. Get the ball and play to the 2 number 10s, if possible, first and foremost. If not, then play to your wing backs. If not, play to one of the 3 centre halves. It's that simple. So I've gone with those 2 next to workhorses. El Nini, for me, never really lets Arsenal down. I think because people don't see him as a huge name, he's always easy to come out. He was loaned out. He came back. For me, he has to start because of his legs. And Luca T, the little terrier, needs another opportunity. I don't really think he let us down. He's not the best on the ball, but I'm not wanting my centre midfielders to be bopping the ball around. That's why I've got 2 number 10s. So moving forward, I've got Smith Rowe, who for me, him and Tierney have been our best players this season. In what's been a very poor start to the season, he's been a shining light along with Tierney. Saka's obviously done the utmost as well, but he's come back from European Championships and he's been brilliant when he's played as well. Odegaard for me is going to be very important. I don't want to play him and Smith Rowe in the 10s when we've got the ball. When we don't have the ball, I just want them to drop in and maybe into wingers kind of positions just to block off the fullbacks the teams can't play out against us. And then I've got Aubameyang going through the middle because if we're paying him all that money, he needs to play.
Fair enough. I'm going to get to some comments before I let GunnerKing get to it. Say One Touch TV. So my brethren Kunle, what's up? He said big up tonight's panel. Silver Fox, I wouldn't want to be Arteta if we lose this game. Yeah, it's chopping blocks if he loses. One Toucher said Balogun, Ainsley and Aziz must start. Odegaard must play for 30 minutes plus at least. Xhaka needs to be as far away from the game as possible. Must win. Silver Fox put Auba needs this game. And Silver Fox also says Ben White available. So I presume Ben White's not going to be because he had COVID, didn't he?
He tested COVID?
Yeah, he tested positive, I think.
I don't think he'll be available still.
He must have been positive before the Brentford game.
Yeah, he was.
He played
I
like he
also
was positive.
think, I also think Tierney might not be available as well due to.
Yeah, he come off, didn't he? He came off injured.
Being picked up the other day, apparently.
We're gonna get beat.
Yeah.
Who you playing? I'm gonna see Xhaka going to left-sided centre half and all this madness. No,
yeah, it's a mess. I'm going to give you my team, and then we let Gunner and Jords have a little say as well. So again, what we do is, Jords, I've gone for a different formation. So pick which formation you think we should go with, and actually maybe pick which team you think we can go with, and we'll make a few little changes if you need to. So I've gone 4-2-3-1. Don't watch the picture. I've gone Ramsdale in goal. So for me, it's kind of a game to give him opportunity in, see what he can do. Might come too soon. I do agree with what Marv's saying about building some consistency. But again, I think you paid that money for him. I'll be putting him in to see what he can do. Cedric, right back. I didn't really want to play him, but you'll see why a bit later. Holding and Armoury centre-backs, I think they've had a shocking start. So actually give them another game and try and get them, do you know what I mean? Just playing some sort of football and getting some sort of partnership going. Nuno Tavares I've put in. I would have started him anyway, but I think Tierney did get a knock. So again, if he is available, I'd rather leave him for the Man City beating we're going to get. I've gone Lokonga, Maitland-Niles in the midfield. Again, just getting Lokonga minutes. I think he started well. But actually, we'll just have a proper look at him again, playing next to someone with a bit of energy next to him. Odegaard in the 10. Martinelli, Nelson, and Balogun. The reason for that is I think just trying to give him a bit of confidence. They've been playing in teams which is so defensive minded. They've got, do you know what I mean? There's been no ambition from our team the last few I could say months. So just for them to try and get a couple of goals and just give them some confidence as well. And then I think for me, had the big guns on the bench. So Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang all be on the bench, ready to come on if need be. So Jords, we're going to go to you. Out of these two formations, what would you likely go for if you was manager on Wednesday?
Probably go Mavs.
You go to 3 at the back?
Yeah, absolutely 3 at the back. We need to get used to playing with it. Like, as Marv said, you bought Ben White for 50 million. That's not no light price tag. Like, you scouted him in that position, so why not play the team in that position? Because if you're buying a striker, you're going to change the team around to suit him. You can't expect, like, Lukaku go to Chelsea and play a different way to how suits him. You just paid 100 million for him. 50 million is not no, like, change. As you can see for Arsenal, we take forever to get deals done. So I'll play 3 at the back personally, and I will call him for it against Chelsea. You just asked me about the formation. That's what I'll go with.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Good. Gunnar, what would you do? 3 at the back, or would you go to a normal back 4?
Well, for tomorrow, I'd go at 4 at the back. I think 3 at the back should be used at the moment because I think what Martin said about Ben White is a solid point. He has played in back 4s and back 3s. Played a lot more in Brighton's system in a back 3. Leeds did a bit of both, and then I think when he was at Peterborough before that, I believe, wasn't he?
Something like that, yes. Yeah, I'm not reading too much into that team there.
But, what I would say as well is the profile of our centre backs are quite young, like relative to. There's Mari's like the oldest; he's like 27, and I think whilst you've got maturing centre backs that are still learning, that have relatively little experience at Premier League level, like say your Gabriel and your White, they've only got a season each between them. I think it's a good way to mature them, to like kind of help them acclimatize to playing as centre backs at this pace. And then as they get older and they kind of like filled out with that experience that they've got, then you can start thinking longer term, can they play in a back 4? Because they've got that experience now and that like. So yeah, I think in this game, we should use the back 4 as an experiment to where we're going in the future. But then maybe in the league, definitely against City, and definitely we should have against Chelsea, we should have gone with a 3.
Yeah, I do agree with that. So the next one that stands out from the difference between mine and Mars' team is your goalkeeper. Just one word. Chris, are you going with Leno or Ramsdale?
I'm going to stick with, my first 4. I would go with Ramsdale. I just think that for the cup games, he should at least be given the opportunity. I don't think you've heard me say I don't think Leno is anywhere near as bad a keeper as some of his mistakes allow him to look. And I think that's more a system limitation that he can't play in. You know, like he's not adept at playing out from the back and in a system that demands him to, but as a shot stopper, he's not bad. But I think we should at least hedge our kind of bets by looking at what we're getting from Ramsdale and use this opportunity now to see that, because if there are continuing problems with Leno, then at least we've got some idea of what we can expect, and he's got some minutes under his belt to be able to kind of come in and perform in the league games.
Good. Jords, one word. Sorry, we're going to rattle through because we ain't got much time today. So one word, Leno or Ramsdale, what are you going with?
Ramsdale.
Not bad. So then Marvin's gone for a midfield two of El Nene and Torreira. I've gone completely different. I've gone Lokonga and Maitland-Niles. Would it be one of each, or whose midfield do you prefer? Go on, Jords.
I'd put Lokonga and Torreira.
Okay. So the talk at the moment is Torreira's looking like he's going Fiorentina. If that is to be believed. Is it? If that's to believe, so they'll say we take Torreira out of the fold now. Who would you go with? El Nene?
Don't take him out. He's still there.
If Marv gets a job tonight, he's keeping him. But just say we take Torreira out, El Nene or Maitland-Niles, or would you have Maitland-Niles at right back, George?
I just put him at right back, man. I put him at right back.
Yeah. Chris, what would your midfield two be?
It's a 4, innit?
Oh, sorry, go on, George. Carry on, George. Sorry.
Yeah, carry on.
So it's a 3-4-2-1, innit? Marv said.
Yeah, he was going. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I put him on the right side of
right wing back. Who would you play in the midfield then? Tomorrow.
Lokonga. Torreira. Let's say Torreira's not here. I'll play Lokonga and El Nene.
Yeah, makes sense. Gunner, agreements. You've gone with a 4 like me. So midfield 2. Who would you go with?
I'd go with Lokonga in midfield, and I would partner him with El Nene. I'd put Maitland-Niles as the right back in that formation.
Decent. And then the next bit, I think this is the one place where, like, I look at the team and I think we're actually okay, and that's that kind of front period behind the striker. I think we're lacking something up front, but that 3, or if we go in Mars formation, that 2, I think that's probably our strongest position at the moment. And I don't mind if I see Pepe or Saka or Smith Rowe or Odegaard. So again, I've gone with a 3 of Reece Nelson, Odegaard, and Martinelli. Mars gone with Smith Rowe and Odegaard. George, anything different from there, or go with the Marvin formation 3-4-2? Would you go with your 2 10s?
I want to play Pepe, but I'm not going to play Pepe and Odegaard together. And I think Odegaard needs this game, so I'd probably go Odegaard and Smith Rowe. But I do really want to play Pepe. But I'm thinking about a way that I could put him in. But yeah,
and Chris,
in a 4-2-3-1, I actually think Odegaard works well with Pepe, because like Odegaard as a 10, as we've shown, like he drifts out into the right channel, so like Pepe can bomb on. So maybe I'd rest Saka, put Pepe on the right, Odegaard as a 10, and then the ESR on the left, and then I would put Martinelli up top.
So you go Martinelli as a striker. So you got one for Martinelli.
Or Balogun, actually. Or Balogun. I think then I might even rest Smith Rowe, keep him fresh, and put Martinelli on the left and play Odegaard in the centre. That's what I would do. Yeah.
And Jords, who would you go as your main striker?
Auba.
Getting him match fit.
You're getting him match fit, but you also need a leader at the front line. Like, West Brom are breeding a winning mentality right now. Like, they played 4 games and they've won 3. I know a championship is a different league, but you can't replicate a win mentality, and we don't have that. So we need the closest thing to a leader, and he's our captain. So, and he needs this game, and he needs this game.
Yeah, I think for all our strikers, that all must be lacking confidence massively. So, in hindsight, I've made my team again looking as Carl link up with playing a team from the championship. Who's the players who hasn't played? I would like to see Reece Nelson, but equally, I do agree with Marvin's team where actually we probably need to start from somewhere. Like last year, we got it at Chelsea and we again, stumbled into a formation, stumbled into a team with Smith Rowe coming in, with Odegaard coming in. Sorry, not Odegaard, Martinelli, and it worked. I think this time we do need to go strong and get that win because we need to get 3 points, or not 3. We need to go through in the cup, and we need that winning mentality. So, do you think West Brom could cause us a shock tomorrow, Marv?
Absolutely.
Yes, like 100%. Especially if we start resting players. I genuinely don't believe that we're good enough to start resting players. Like,
do you
we're just not.
Do you think some of them boys? Go on, you go, and then I'll answer the question after.
Is it a shock if we get beat? Be honest with yourselves. Is it a shock?
It is.
Yeah,
I can't. Listen. By the time I don't think don't say it won't be a shock. Because if you start thinking West Brom should beat Arsenal, we're done. We're done.
No, I'm
with Marvin on this. I can't lie. Man.
We're done. We can't. We're done. Look how far we've came. We are done. If we go to play a game against West Brom and we're like, do you know what? We're going to lose, and I won't be shocked. We're done.
No. I'm not saying you can't feel the emotion to it, or you can't be angry, you can't be furious, yeah. But let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. This club is like, the players are a bunch of cowards.
No,
I'll be honest with you. If you look at it this way, they're only three positions behind us.
Yeah, but it's a totally different level. We can't go into playing the championship. That's what I'm talking about, not resting players. Because I genuinely believe, like, no disrespect to those boys, if you put out that Arsenal 11, and you took like away our starting 11, the second 11 wouldn't win the championship. They wouldn't.
I agree. Do you think them players? This is what I was going to ask you. Do you think them boys? So just say you look at mine, and you got Maitland-Niles, you got Tavares, Lokonga's obviously brand new. Odegaard's coming in, Martinelli, Nelson, Berger. Do you think they have a bit more hunger and desire and a will to want to do well? Like, I'm watching our team at the moment, and I just can't even see, apart from Smith Rowe and Tierney, they're the only two I watch and think they care and they got desire. The rest of them, I'm just like, they're going through the motions. And that's why I think, I know Maitland-Niles is quite laid back, but Tavares, he looks quite bright when he comes on. Yeah. Lokonga's looked okay. Reece Nelson must have a point to prove. You're seeing, you know what I mean? Reece Nelson was the biggest thing, like when you're young, looking at that age group coming up, like Reece Nelson was the one. So to see Saka go past him, Smith Rowe, Willots has got a massive move. Like other teams, players from other teams now breaking in and doing well. He's got a massive point to prove. Like, you're hoping he will grab it. Balogun again's just got a new contract. There was a lot of talk from his agent of 30 teams are after him and this, that, and the other.
Scotland, and I'm like, he's not. For me, he's not ready. He's not ready to lead the line for Arsenal and against a strong West Brom team. By the way, you have a very good. That Ishmael, their manager's a very good manager. Don't get me wrong; they might start resting players. I don't care. We have to win the game. It's not like us under Arsene Wenger when we're getting Champions League and the League Cup was seen as, you know, a development kind of thing for young players. If you're not winning in the league, you got to win in the cup. If we lose this game on Wednesday, it's a crisis. No matter what team you put out, by the way. I don't want to hear Arteta say, "Oh, we played young boys and we rested players and we lost." No. We cannot lose. We have to win this game. Like I say, you need to kickstart your season. Because if you lose this game, and let's be honest, it's highly likely that City are going to beat us. We're in big trouble. Big trouble. So it's a lot better getting a win in now and saying, listen to them boys, I would love to have played you. We've not started the league well. Play yourself into form. What are you getting rested? You've not played well. You're playing poorly, get rested to get brought back in. No, win this game and take 3 of the players off. Or is it 5 subs in the cup?
Do you know, I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to this cup, so I couldn't even tell you.
Stoppages, 5 sub. So you can take 5 of them off.
Yeah, win the game first and then get
Don't try to bring them on 30 minutes to go chasing the game. No, that's a lot harder.
I kind of agree with like the rationale of not rewarding players with rest if they haven't earned it. But I think equally as well, some of them need to be shown that there are other players in the squad that if they get given a chance and they take it, then, you know, their place isn't safe. And, you know, let's look at, say, Telles when he went to United. All of a sudden, Luke Shaw became Shawdinho, you know, like, because it was just the fact that Telles was there that psychologically played. You could see it. It played on his mind. Probably his application in training went up. You know, like that hunger and desire went up to not lose this place. I think after the first 2 performances of the season, some of these players need to see that.
But I get that. But just one thing on that. Look at the players you're bringing in. Which one of those players do you genuinely... Balogun can score a hat-trick against West Brom, and Nelson can set 3 of them up, and they don't start against Man City.
I think, maybe I overshot the mark when I said earlier that maybe Balogun should start. I think Aubameyang needs confidence more. So I would probably still start him, but maybe some of the midfielders, you know, like Xhaka make them take them boys out. He's not going to do it. Make them out. Those players can come in and do wonders. And like you say, Telles is a big name, big player. We're talking about our youth players. There's no youth player at Man United there. We're putting in our youth. They're bringing in guys that cost like 30 mil or whatever. Like, this is what we've done, man.
I do feel that's a big issue. As said, it's very comfortable for your Granit Xhaka, isn't it? Like the guys like that. Bellerin's had an easy run for the last how many years where it doesn't matter what happens, he just comes back in, walks straight back in the team. And do you know what I mean? And this is part of the problem. We haven't had a strong enough squad where you earn your place and you keep it in the one position. And again, it happens all the time. I'll be honest, I've been saying it for a while. Lacazette's our best striker. He might not be our best finisher, but at the moment, the way we play, he's better in that position. He brings other players into play. You can see the young players feed off him. He holds the ball up. He gets us out. He battles. He works his socks off. So he has one bad game. He started the season on fire. He scored, 3-3? Missed the chance against Liverpool, and he's dropped again. And it's like we almost can't wait to drop some players, and then some players get unlimited chances. And I think that also doesn't help the squad. Marvin, you played in the team where you feel some players get favoritism over others. And what does that do for the rest of the players in the squad?
No, it's hard. Like you're saying there, it's hard because, especially as an attacking players need the arm around them. So if you know you can have a bad game and you're going to start the next game, that's when you get your best football. If the man just has that confidence in you and you have enough kind of credit in the bank to say, I can have a bad 90 minutes, I'm going to start the next game. You get the best out of those players. When players know that they're one bad game away from being dropped, don't get me wrong, they might score 2 in a row and they play the third game. But as soon as they have that bad game, they're out again. Your confidence is gone. You know, so I'm looking at, if me and you are the strikers, Gumsa, and I know I have to score in each game to stay in, but you can go 4 games without scoring and you're still going to play the 5th game. You know, it's horrible and it's really, really hard. And then what starts happening, I start speaking to Jords and Gunner and saying to them, how's he starting ahead of us? Why is he always starting? Why are we not playing? Because misery loves a best friend. And it goes straight through the squad. So it's got to be one rule for everyone. Either that these are my starting 11 and they're going to be given 3 or 4 games. And if they play poorly in those games, when I bring you in for your chance, you're going to get the same amount of games. And that's when you get the best out of everyone because there's no grey areas. This is it. You know, then they're not one bad game away from being dropped. But when you get your chance, you're not one bad game away from being dropped. And that's how I think you get the best out of the squad.
I hear that. Because I'm watching this team at the moment. I do feel there's not fractions, but something's not right within it. Again, I was going to pick your brain, Marvin, because we don't have you here often, so I'm going to rely on your knowledge. What do you reckon the mood's like in the camp at the moment? Again, they can all see what's being said. I heard after Arteta left the game the other day, the fans were waiting for him, banging on the window, saying, like, leave. We was at the Chelsea game the other week. Bellerin and Xhaka got a warm reception when they left. Like, do you know what I mean? It's what do you reckon? Like, have you played in a team which has been underperforming? And what's it get like in the change rooms? Do you know what I mean? Do you kind of band together, or does it kind of create a divide between you, pointing the fingers? Like, what do you reckon the mood's like in the Arsenal camp at the moment?
You'd be amazed. Some boys just won't care. They just won't care. As I said to you earlier, that they'll have that mentality of, I'll outlast the gaffer. Like, I'll last longer than the gaffer will. Especially the players that you've been bringing in for that one game, had a bad game and they're straight out. So your Lacazettes and that, they're going to cause a problem within the camp because they don't like Arteta anyway for the way he's treated them. You know, it's been, a lot of players have been open and you can see in their demeanour and their body language, they don't like him. They don't get along with him. So as a manager, yeah, it's really important you do your stuff on the grass, but you've got to be a people person as well. And people have to respect you. And I don't feel some of the experienced players do. So I don't think he likes them. I think he lets it know, I don't like you. So, but those players will just be like, listen, he'll be gone soon. I'll outlast him. And the next manager comes in and I'll start performing. And that's what I'm saying. That warm reception and seeing the fans banging on the window and that, those players will be loving that. Loving it. The ones that don't like him, they'll be loving it. Saying, he's in a couple from the shop. So they got 3 or 4 year contracts. They're fine.
Yeah. And I think that's where the point is. I watch the team. I think we've down tools again. Because again, there's no way this team with these players should be performing that way. Just touch a couple of comments quickly. So little big Lee Billingsley, get full team out there. We're not winning nothing else this season. So definitely in agreement with Marv. Pyro's Destiny, great content. So yeah, big up Pyro, appreciate the love. So yeah, as I said, it's just a quick preview. We're gonna wrap it up there. Any last thoughts, GunnerKing?
No, I just think, we need to see a performance in this game. I think, as I said earlier, I think this is the sort of game that being sandwiched between difficult teams needs. Without wanting to disrespect West Brom, we should have a squad capable of winning that game. And I think, can we get a clean sheet, or can we kind of get a few, sort of goals on the scoreboard, just to kind of breathe that confidence in our attacking play as well. I think these are the two key questions. 2 games, 4 goals conceded, unanswered. I think you really need to take those 2 things into the game against City, where you would favour them to score, and where you're probably more than likely going to need to score to get anything out of that game at all. So we've really got to put in a commanding performance, for considering who we're playing on the weekend. And I don't want to be in a position where come this time next week, we haven't got a point on the board. We're 9 points behind leaders, and the first months not even come to a close. Not good. But no, we're gonna make, I think, some more signings. I don't think we're quite done. But yeah, you still don't want to take that into September. So
yeah, definitely.
Whilst it's just a cup game, it's not just a cup game.
That. Just quickly as well, while you're there, actually, because I just remember we haven't spoke since the game on Sunday. You went to the protest, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Any good or waste of time?
I mean, it wasn't really, a protest. Like there was people going into the matches. There was like a gathering, but it didn't. There was some speaking, like some people kind of just speaking about what issues they felt was with the club, but it wasn't, there wasn't a great deal of noise or like.
It wasn't like the Super League protesting.
No, it was nothing like that. It was like so far removed from that. Not what I was expecting at all. And I mean, once again, people coming straight out from the stadium. No one kind of hanging around to make their thoughts known on either the manager or the owner, or both. So, I mean, I'm quite disappointed, if I'm honest. But one thing I will say is that the stadium turnout numbers, have you seen how low they were?
Yeah, they weren't great.
Ridiculously low. And like as far as the derby calendars go, that's like the first one on everyone's, like, when they're getting tickets that they check for.
Yeah. There's a couple of games in it.
Yeah, Chelsea always sells out like one of the quickest. Next to like Spurs, United, maybe.
Yeah.
But then the next tickets that are going are the Chelsea ones, right?
Yeah, 100%. I was looking to get tickets. I couldn't believe it when they was on Red Member sale. I couldn't believe Chelsea tickets were on Red Member. I went to go and get them, and they had some in the family enclosure for like 50 quid. But my Red membership don't get family enclosure, so the next ones for me were like 112. And even I said I ain't paying that to watch us get beat. But as you said, to get tickets for Arsenal Chelsea is unheard of normally.
Yeah, it's not possible. And like when you consider that, like loads of season ticket holders have seized their membership numbers have dropped. So I think all of this is going to come together. Whilst we didn't see much of a protest yesterday, that is actually hitting their bottom line. You see what I mean? That is actually that's affecting their pocket.
That's probably saying more to them than actually standing outside singing, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's how you got to talk to the billionaires, That's how you got to talk to them,
Yeah. Jords, any last thoughts on Wednesday's game?
West Brom are no mugs. I would love to be positive. I would love to be positive for you, Marv, but I've seen what the team is capable of. And they've just been relegated. It's not like they're... If we was playing Stoke, I'd understand the shock, yeah? But they've just been relegated and they're currently at the top of their league. I know it's only 4 games, but Brentford just got promoted and they beat us 2-0 comfortably. Didn't look like a threat. And we're going away from home fans are going to be rocking that stadium because, like I said, they're breeding that winning mentality. All the players are going to be confident because they've won 3 games out of 4. When was the last time Arsenal won a game?
Yeah, pre-season
So,
behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors.
Do you know
So
what? It's quite funny because go on. So carry on.
So when fans are getting onto you, yeah, how it's now a sense of character. How do you turn and react to that? Like,
I was going to say, do you think Arsenal playing without fans has a positive effect on them? I think Arsenal and West Ham, no fans in the stadium, probably up their levels a little bit. When there's fans in there, no West Ham fans can be quite toxic towards them, and Newcastle.
yeah.
And actually, you saw an improvement when there was no fans in there. Do you think that has an effect on the players, Marv?
Yeah, it probably takes the pressure off when there's not fans within the stadium, especially when you're playing that kind of build-up football. Because you know that when you're playing from the back, there's always that one pass you think, oh my gosh, I'm getting intercepted. So all the fans, ooh, and then it's like, just get it forward. Or one of your passes you overhit and it gets intercepted. Like, just get it forward. When there's no fans within there, there's not that pressure because you're not hearing that noise. So your pass gets intercepted, you get the ball back, you try and do the same things again. But they're playing for Arsenal Football Club. You have to expect pressure. You can't talk about having no fans in there. Like, oh, we better without you. This is Arsenal Football Club. Expect pressure. We expect to win things. When you win things, there's no pressure. Go and win something. We'll be happy. There's no pressure. And Arsenal fans could be a lot worse towards the players than they have been. I think a lot of it's been directed at the board.
What's your thoughts on that? Do you agree with a lot of the pressure on the board? I know obviously this year they've pulled their finger out a little bit and given him 130 odd, 150 rising. Is it too little too late or
no? I think Eddie's got a lot to answer for as well if he's making the signings. And I'll be totally honest. I think the money we spent for Ramsdale, the money we spent for Ben White should have been used a lot better. And I said the Vescard went to Leicester for 15 mil. I think he was a perfect centre half we needed. He's experienced. We've got the young French boy that's gone out on loan again. So we didn't really need a young centre half to come back. So he's going to come back. So get somebody who is like 29, 30, who has that experience, who is a leader, who is physical. So let's go do that for 15 million. Go and get a goalkeeper, a number 2 goalkeeper. Like, come on, don't spend that massive money. Go and get a cheaper number 2 goalkeeper. And then let's build the rest of the team up. Let's go and then I know we said we're still going to bring players in, but I think the money's been wasted, if I'm honest with you. I think it could have been a lot better spent.
Yeah, I agree with that. As I say, you look at 130 gone out the door, and actually the 11 doesn't look any better. Like, you know what I mean? I know I can't judge Ben White after one game, but actually David Luiz was playing that position before, and I think he done all right for us. He wasn't as bad as people made out. A lot of his mistakes were actually him trying to recover for someone else doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And Odegaard we had on loan, so yes, we got him now fully, but actually, do you know what I mean? We haven't really improved 11, and we spent 150. So I do feel, something's got to be done. With Johnny, I said the 11 wasn't good enough last year. We got 8th place with that 11. So yes, the squad's younger. We got a bit of backup for Tierney, which we definitely needed because he looks like he's going to go down a lot again. But the big issues are still there. So yeah, we're not in a great place. I'm just going to get to a couple more comments. Monday, again, big Man United fan. Respect panel, let's lift the mood. It ain't all bad. I sometimes feel the negativity with fans, not you guys. It's killing the club and players. Let's go Arsenal. I challenge that. I think if the players were doing what they had to do, then the mood will lift and then it will rise up together. But I think we feed off the players. We start every game probably cheering. Within 15 minutes, you're 1-0 down. The mood straight away goes. It does turn quicker than normal. I think if you look back at the Armoury days, I think Wenger best said it when he said, you could be losing 1-0 and you're not stressed because you're thinking Henry ain't scored yet. Yeah. So you knew we're always going to get one. So actually keep it at 1-0. The worst we're going to do is come out of a draw. Again, I've looked at the stats come out the other day. Arteta hasn't won a game from losing at half time. So what can you expect from... So what can you expect? And we don't start well either. So it's not like we start on fire and it's only a one-off. We go in 1-0. We start bad and we're 1-0 down as usual and we don't come back and win. So
what does that show you though? You know, like it's leaders. It's like, you know, what Marvin was saying, you know, it's experienced players. It's guys that have like seasoned, that have been in the trenches, that are going to pull you out of those situations. And as good as the profiles are, like that we've brought in, and as good as it is to have like a good core of young players that are improving, you need to strike that balance, like correctly between having those players and then having like a beacon for all of those players to look to. Like, you know, that's our leader, that's our guy. He's telling us what we're doing. He's telling us where to be, when and why. You know, his instructions we're going to follow. And as long as we do that, we're going to be fine. You know, like that just makes everything organized, a lot more controlled. And I think when you go that many games in that situation at halftime and you're not coming back from them, that literally holds a mirror up to that problem. You know, it's there for you to see. And I think looking at our transfer strategy from a perspective of like how well we've done, like that just stands out to me quite a lot.
I
think
agree.
A lot of people are talking about, you know, positions or what player profiles we want, but leadership in itself is a profile kind of you know, requirement, you know, or an asset that a player can have. And you know, I think Odegaard's been the captain of Norway, Tierney's been the captain of Celtic, Konga's been the captain of Anderlecht, Xhaka's captain his country. You know, after that, you haven't really got people that have.
One thing,
there's not many communicators. The captain, there's either ones that lead by example or ones that order you. You go there, you do this. I don't want those captains. Tierney, I think, we're the only one. I don't want those ones who lead by example by playing well. We need leaders now. We need communicators. We need vocal leaders. So that starts from the back. And that's why I think bringing in an experienced centre-back would have been perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just one of them would have been ideal for us.
And again, I watch Leno. I don't think he's a big character in goal. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't seem like one who's commanding his box. So again, if he's not going to do it, you need the centre back to do it. If you've got a commanding goalkeeper, I said I've watched Armoury.
He's nervous when the ball's at his feet. He's not fully comfortable, as Gunnar said earlier. He's not comfortable playing the way we play. He's not. So he's not communicating with his back four because he's worried about that ball coming back to him. What he's going to do? Do you know what I mean? What am I going to do this? I can't be ordering you lot around when I'm nervous about what I'm doing myself.
100%.
Someone who's settled in what they're doing. Veska knows that ball's coming in the air. I'm winning it. Don't get me wrong. He's got not a lot of pace in behind him. There's a 50-50 to be won. He's going to win it. His positional play is good. Physically strong. Yes, he has a weak the ball going in behind him, but there's anything in front of him he can clear. So he might even say to us, let's step a little bit deeper. So there's no space behind us. You saw with Harry Maguire when he first went to Man United. Harry Maguire could do everything when the ball's in front of him. When he had space behind him, he would struggle. United were playing a high line, he was getting exposed. Now you look at United's line, it's slightly deeper, and the goalkeeper's got a slightly more aggressive starting position if they do push up. So it's just about getting that fine balance.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And again, this could go on all night. Guys, I've loved having you on here. I've loved the conversations. We're definitely going to get you back, Marv. Like, again, to be fair, I already spoke to you, definitely for the Burnley preview. Again, if you don't know Marv's playing history, go and Google it. He's played under Sean Dyche. Again, he played at Burnley for a few years. So, again, we need to get that one out and get into Arteta early so we can pick up a few inside tips from you. Jordy, it's been a pleasure as always. Again, another young, but he knows his stuff, man. He's been brought up around real ballers, his uncle. So yeah, he knows his stuff. And GunnerKing as well. But it's a pleasure having you on again, brother. And again, got a very, very in-depth analysis as always. So boys, it's been a blast. We're going to keep this under 45 minutes. So I'm in everyone's good books at the station. But yeah, thanks again. And we're going to catch everyone soon. Hopefully the review show, the reaction show is going to be a bit more positive and be a few smiles. Hopefully we score a goal and not from a set piece. Jordy?
If we win, Marvin's got to come on with us and I'll smile for him and tell him.
And to be fair, if we lose, I'm bringing Marvin on to vent again anyway because that's going to be cold. So yeah, we'll be in touch. But guys, thank you very much. Have a good evening, and we'll catch you all week Wednesday or Thursday. Oh, GunnerKing, you on tomorrow? You got your court tomorrow?
Yeah, I've got the court tomorrow. That's back at 7.
What time? Plug it up quickly. What time? Who's on the panel with you?
I'm still speaking to a few people. I will be confirming the guests tomorrow during the day. But nice. Yeah, we're just going to be talking about, well, it's 1 week now. The transfer window closes next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So just going to be seeing what the club is looking to do, both in and out transfer-wise, in what is a vital week for this club, man. I mean, like, I think these couple of games have shown like there's so much. There's probably more riding on this last week than they would have wanted. So yeah, it's going to be good looking at what's going on.
Decent. Right, guys. One more thing. Anyone out there listening, make sure you. And we out of here.